tranquilate. Oh my God, my microphone's not muted. Hello everyone, here we are. This is, I believe, episode 31, our 31st get-together for the Spotlight, where we're hoping to invite friends and people we don't know that are sure to become friends to tell us about their plans, their projects, their activities, their products, their services. And today is no exception. Last week we were a little wimped out because we had to cancel because nobody signed up. Happens. But this week we have two great guests, two great organizations that we're very much looking forward to learning more from. And I'm going to give you a hint as to which one is the first one by displaying their banner. All I can say about them at this time is meow. And I meant to do that banner as a scroll in. Monica, I am cheating on you. Hold on.
I forgive you.
You forgive me?
This time.
You forgive me this time. There you go. So Monica Pence is sitting right next to me, and I'm going to bring her in just by hitting a button. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
You're flickering, and I don't know why. How bizarre.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, it must be the weather. Has everybody noticed that we're wearing matching shirts? I was given a gift. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're so very welcome. Thank you very much for having us.
It is a pleasure. And just so you know, sitting in the back over there, she's about to wave. We have our friend Kathy. Hello, Kathy. Kathy joins us for Coffee and Headlines in the morning. And Kathy, you are the president of the organization, right? No, you're not. No, you are the president.
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
So there you go. So
There's plenty of room for all of us.
I have all my wires crossed out. So you are the president.
Yes.
And
yes.
so when you said you are the spokesperson, you were not kidding me.
I try to be, it's a great organization. It's really evolved a lot in the last couple of years, especially since I've been with PuRR project. And it's just a fantastic organization, and the love and the care that goes in. Our volunteers, we're all very close, but at the same time, we're always more than welcoming to other people, to bring people into the organization. It's a lot of hard work. It's a huge labor of love. And those people, Bama and Brenda, that have basically taken over the organization back since, I don't know, I think like 2006 or 8, when they became involved with Pet Heaven. And so it's been fantastic to see how it's evolved, how it's changed. Of course, being here in Puerto Vallarta, people move to Puerto Vallarta, people move out of Puerto Vallarta. People leave us, they pass, but at the same time too, their hearts are always with us.
Okay, speaking of leaving and not leaving, let's start with you.
Okay.
How and when did you discover this town?
Okay, I discovered this town, my parents came here for their honeymoon back in 1967. And so they absolutely loved it. My mom was a teacher, And she had lived in Mexico City back in the 50s and taught the girls English.
Mm-hmm.
So she went back to the States, she became one of the first bilingual teachers in Chicago. And so she just loved it. She met my dad, and they came here for their honeymoon, and they loved it. So I've been coming here since I was about 3.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I've been seeing lots of changes around this town.
At what point, are you living here full time now?
I was living here, I am not living here currently full-time.
So where is home when home is not here?
Home in Chicago.
Chicago?
In the city, and I go back and forth. So I go back to Chicago about for 8-10 weeks, and then I come back again and stay 2-3 weeks depending on what's going on.
Mm-hmm. And how did you become affiliated or associated with the PuRR project?
So when I moved down here back in 16, I wanted to do something exciting and give back, and I had no idea. I'm a cat person. I'm not necessarily a dog person.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to the South Beaches, and I was giving Bravecto to the dogs. I worked with a couple little organizations with spay and neuter clinics and helping a hand, and I wanted a little bit more, and I wanted a little bit more structure. And people had told me about PuRR Project, but I was sort of a little shy and a little afraid because I didn't know what I would see as far as with the treatment of cats, with the cats, how many cats would I adopt, what would it be like, would I be sad, would I be happy? And it's been a fantastic adventure. And I was living here a year and a half before I started with PuRR Project. And I wish I had sort of taken the initiative earlier, but you know, life is what it is, and everybody has its path and the ebb and flow of life.
So how long have you been president of the PuRR project?
Only like a couple of years, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you know, we need to again evolve, and we need to have we have Pet Heaven that is here in Puerto Vallarta.
What is that?
That was started. Pet Heaven is basically was started in 2006, and it was a gentleman and his partner that had started. They had a piece of property that is about an hour north of Puerto Vallarta, and they had some cats that they had rescued, and they put them at the shelter. And so they were getting the care, of course, spay, neutering, shots, a place to call home, a place where they had food, a secure place. And one thing led to another, and all of a sudden, 10 years later, boom, now you have 200 cats.
So that is what is now, what you now call the pet sanctuary, the cat sanctuary.
Yes, it is the pet sanctuary. It became, we branched off due to, we made PuRR Project, which is the United States affiliation.
Okay, so you're a certified nonprofit in the U.S.
Yes, as well as Pet Heaven here in Puerto Vallarta.
Okay.
I believe that they wanted to go with PuRR Project. It didn't sound as though Pet Heaven, I guess they felt, was sort of sounding like a cemetery, a pet cemetery. So clearly PuRR Project is not.
So what's the name of the Mexican nonprofit then?
That's Pet Heaven.
You have a Mexican nonprofit with an English name?
It had been started back in 2006.
Okay.
So this is long before we became, but we wanted to establish an American non-for-profit. So we went with PuRR Project.
Okay, so now you and I are standing at a cocktail party looking totally swanky, and we just started a conversation, and you just told me that you are the director for the PuRR Project, and I know nothing about the PuRR Project.
Okay.
And this is for people that are not familiar with it, because I'm sure you're going to get a lot of fans that are going to look at this. But what is PuRR Project about?
PuRR Project is, you know, we started Bama and Brenda basically took over and started, and it was only 200 cats, and now, or somewhere there close, now it's well over 300. We have, unfortunately, our gates are always full. And out in the neighborhood, unfortunately, there's been a lot of people that have discovered where the sanctuary is, and lots of times we find kittens. We found a couple dogs that have all of a sudden became our I guess, responsibility. All of our cats are checked. They are giving their shots. They are, of course, bathed. They, of course, are weighed, checked to make sure that they're sick. If they're kittens or puppies, as soon as their first chance is available, everybody is spayed and neutered. And of course, we have cats that are babies. We have cats that are feral, that have been dumped. I shouldn't say dumped, it's not a very kind word. But
it happens.
It does, unfortunately. More than we ever wanted to happen.
So you're a rescue organization?
Yes. Yes, it's a rescue organization, and we have casitas there that have some senior cats that are unfortunately looked past adoption and are spend out their days. They have fans, overhead fans. They have a nice, safe place. They have food. They have water, cat litter boxes, attention, care, and love. And I mean, isn't that what all of us want? So what more can you ask for? And a lot of our biggest problem is we have so many kittens that are just dropped there. And the biggest thing is to find the kittens' homes. And thank God we had a rough time during COVID because we didn't have the socialization. We didn't have a lot of people going out to the shelter, so the kittens were not socialized. Now we have a fantastic group of volunteers that goes out, and we socialize with the cats every week. And that makes a huge difference. And you give them that love. And we bring them over to Petco. We have adoptions on Saturdays and Sundays at Petco. And it's our biggest means for adoption.
So the primary goal for the organization is finding all these cats a loving home?
Absolutely, absolutely. Mm-hmm. We have probably right now easily 90 adoptable kittens. And even teenagers that are waiting for a home. Unfortunately, when we do go to Petco, we can only take 4 or 5 kittens. And so we pick our best ones that are ready to go, meaning they have all their shots. They've already been spayed or neutered and socialized. And unfortunately, if we do have those that do not get the chance to be adopted, they do have a safe place. We put them out in our yard with some of the other cats, and they live out their days where they come and go in the neighborhood. They have a safe place. They return home, of course, because that's where their food is and that's where their safe spot is.
What can the population at large do to help you fulfill your mission?
You know,
I mean, obviously, adopting is one way.
Adopting is a huge way. I would like to give a shout out to Quality Spay and Neuter Clinic, Peace Animal Castration. They also help out greatly with that. The biggest thing is education, and the treatment of animals. You know, it's very hard. I think we in the United States, I know my cats for sure, are the babies, are the center of my life, and they're treated very well. Unfortunately here, it's a little different. People don't get the opportunity to put their cats first. They have jobs, they have homes they have to pay, they have children that they have to feed. And then along comes the animal that they love.
Is this a cultural thing you've identified?
I've seen it in the United States as well. So I don't want to say it's cultural. I don't want to say that. I think there's more education in the States than there is here.
I will be
But
the first to
we'll
agree.
know.
And when I'm asking you these things, it's not that I'm trying to get into a big cultural divide or anything.
Sure.
I will be the first person to agree that sometimes we just don't know what to do. So let me ask you a question or put forth a scenario that can happen to the best of us and to all of us, really. If I leave my house and right on the sidewalk, I run into a little kitty cat. And kitty cat is looking at me and purring and wanting love and affection and food and God knows what. What is the course of action there?
The first course of action, I'm going to put this as far as the way I feel and the way I would do it. You know, the first thing we have to do is take a look. Do I have home? Do I have time? Do I have money to take care of this animal? Does this animal have a home? And maybe that person lets their animal, their cat, their dog out during the day, which isn't, of course, the safest. I absolutely adore my driving here in Puerto Vallarta, but we all drive pretty crazy. Mm-hmm. And I speak for myself.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, that's a big chance that an animal could get hurt. Not everybody loves animals. And there are those people that might not be very kind.
Yes.
But at the same time, you know, you can only hope and pray that that's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, the biggest thing is lots of times, and you'll find many veterinarians too that'll be like, oh my gosh, I found these 4 kittens, and they don't have a mother, and I took them in. Well, lots of times though too is that sometimes that mother does exist, and maybe the mother was out hunting, getting food or whatever, and all of a sudden somebody had seen these kittens, took the kittens. Now you might have 4 kittens that cannot eat on their own, and I'll tell you, I commend those people that do bottle babies, and boy, that's a character builder, getting up every 2 hours and feeding a kitten. Or
Bottle babies, please.
Bottle. Usually if a kitten is within like 1 month.
Okay.
And even if their eyes aren't open, if they cannot feed on their own, they have to be given milk. Not only just the milk, they also have to be stimulated to go pee and to go poop. And in every 2 hours. And I had a set that I went out and I came back 3.5 hours later, and what a huge mess. And so, you know, I commend those people. It's a hard, it's rewarding. It's very rewarding, but it's also very hard. It's a character builder.
Okay, so let's there's a great question from Michael Buford. Did the city just not open a clinic for the animals of Vallarta? Do you know about this?
Did they just?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Did the city just not open a clinic for the animals of Vallarta?
I do not know. Like I said, we do have the Quale. We do have Peace that goes to different colonies. You do have some other organizations that also have spay and neuter clinics. Mm-hmm. Lots of times though, people they have this animal and they do not have the time nor the knowledge about where the spay and neuter clinics are. And as I've told so many people time and time again here in Mexico, is that, you know, to spay and neuter a female cat in the United States is $600-700. And here you get it for free. Maybe some places might ask you for a donation, but I mean, a donation is nothing compared to $600 or $700. And so I think that's all part of the education, is to have the people of this area be educated on where those spay and neuter clinics are and to take advantage of that.
Hold my hand, because I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm a cat lover. I'm a cat person. I have a kitty cat. I love my cat. I give my entire life to my kitty cat.
Mhm.
I'm playing devil's advocate here because I want to get people excited about what you're doing. Why should I care about the cats of Puerto Vallarta? I mean, I cannot think of a subtler way to put it. Because ultimately, and you don't need to tell me that. You need to.
Sure, sure. You know, there's something to be said about you're taking a kitten that will not have an opportunity. Lots of times back in the States, obviously, if let's say somebody brings to the shelter a cat or a dog, God forbid, hopefully it's not a kill shelter, their chances of being adopted are much greater. Here, to get a kitten or a puppy that for next to nothing, PuRR project over at Petco charges 500 pesos, which is really nothing for a kitten or a puppy that has already been neutered and spayed and tested and has all of their vaccines. That's an amazing price right there. That's a great opportunity.
Wait, you lost me, and I want to make sure that we're all on the same page.
Sure.
When I go and adopt at Petco,
Yes.
it costs me 500 pesos?
500 pesos for an adoption.
Okay.
And
you get a cat that is ready to go?
Yes. No fleas, no ticks. Been tested, again, like I said, shots.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, spayed or neutered, socialized. And of course, you know, there's always those chances too that you bring an animal home, and it's very important to give that time, that adjustment period. A lot of people do not give an adjustment time to bringing in or introducing a new animal into their home, and giving the time and giving the patience for that animal to adapt to the family.
What if I say I want to help, but I don't want a cat in my life? Maybe I'm allergic. Maybe I already have a cat. My cat is a mean cat, territorial, whatever. How can people that are not able to care for a cat in their home support the PuRR project?
We have, of course, if you go to our website, PuRR Project USA, you will see that you can adopt an online virtual adoption kitten or a cat that is living their lives in our shelter. If you are living here, you know, I'll tell you that in a typical day, as I'm sure Kathy or any of our volunteers will tell you, we get to the shelter, the first thing we do is we do a cat hunt to make sure that nobody has been abandoned or dropped off. We find anybody that has. The first thing that they do is they're tested, they're given a bath to be free of dirt, to be free of fleas or ticks. The next thing is to go into the shelter, and when you're in the shelter, cat litter boxes, the casitas need to be clean, the cat litter boxes need to be clean. And after all that good stuff is done, then you get to go and socialize with the cats. Those are long days. We leave at 10 o'clock in the morning and we get back around 4:30 in the afternoon lots of times. So those are long days.
Are there opportunities for volunteers to do that?
There are opportunities, but at the same time too, there's only so many of us that drive. So we might have 10 people that want to go, but we might only have 2 cars that'll seat 8 people total. So we would love, and again, steadiness is another thing too. It's even sort of rough for me because I'm here for 3 weeks and then I might leave, and then I'll come back again. And dynamics change a little bit, but at the same time, and the volunteers are awesome and amazing, but at the same time, it's to go every week. And there's a lot of people that move obviously to Puerto Vallarta, and I was one of them, that have retired and are looking for something to do. And this is a fantastic opportunity. And the same thing with as far as the spay and neuter clinics too. working on the weekends there and helping out too. It's a great way to meet people too.
What if you speak Spanish?
It's even better yet.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
It's we have two families that live out at the shelter,
Mm-hmm.
and they really do not speak any English. So of course the communication is a little bit harder for us. And who doesn't like to speak Spanish? You are in a Spanish-speaking country, right? It's a great way to learn.
It is still a free way to learn. So, what are we missing here?
I think the biggest thing that we're missing is, for us to run the shelter, it costs about $7,000 to $8,000 a month. Now, remember that is not this isn't a typical season. What happens if there's rain damage? God knows we're just coming off of the rainy season.
And you had a big flood, I remember.
We had a lot of damage. Not only when we have damage, do the casitas flood, do the area flood, but now you're talking washing machines, you're talking septic tanks, you're talking everything electronic, and electronics here are so expensive, and to replace that time and time again, that's out of pocket costs. The biggest thing is donations. We are an organization that's run off of donations. We have, starting November 13th, is our first kitty bingo that is over at Nacho Daddy's. It's $200 200 pesos, which is extremely cheap, and we have fantastic prizes. It's a great way to meet people. It's a great way to get out of the sun. It's a great little thing to do for a couple hours in the afternoon. We have a table that is over by Daiquiri Dick's at the Saturday Olas Atlas Market. And there we have our t-shirts that we ask for donations. The t-shirts are 400 pesos. I also have a calendar here that I would like to present you.
Oh my goodness!
From PuRR Project, that's
Da,
also
da, da.
400 pesos. And
This
of course
is so
we have,
cute.
I just brought down some towels that were handmade by a lady, and they're a fantastic seller. And we have all sorts of hats and t-shirts, tank tops.
Check this out, you guys. You can have your very own PuRR Project calendar. I'm peddling merchandise, I know. So people can buy this at
the Olas Atlas Market Saturday, and we are there from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you do get around.
We get around. It used to be a lot more. It's a lot of work between going out to the shelter two days a week, between being at Petco, being at Olas Atlas, and then of course now, thank God, like I said, we're going to be starting with Nacho Daddy's again, our kitty bingo.
Excellent.
Yes.
Anything else that people should know?
Oh, well, here we have that as we were speaking before about the things that you want to say and then the things that you remember after the fact.
I know, I'm covering my butt.
Yeah. By all means, come and ask us. Come. If you're hanging out in Puerto Vallarta, come Saturday to the market. Besides it being a fantastic market, come ask us questions. Come see what we have. If you are interested in adopting a cat, on Saturdays we are there from 10 to 6, and Sundays from 10 to 4.
Can you also get fabulous shirts like this one?
Absolutely, at the market we have those.
Excellent.
On Saturdays.
Excellent. Well, I think we've covered a lot of things here. I am so grateful for the fact that you're here, Monica. I'm a big cat person myself.
All right.
As people know, I have my little girl, Luna. I hope you guys have a lot of success this season. And if I had a wish for you, it would be that you are as forthcoming of information as you possibly can. We're all getting old and we're forgetting things. So the more, right? Are you guys relating? The more you post things on Facebook as an event, the more you nudge communicators like yours truly, the more we find out about things that you're doing, the easier it is for us to be able to amplify your message.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
and don't make it the only time. Please come back with more information and
Alright.
news and events. Are you doing any kind of like big annual fundraising event
We
or
are
something?
not doing that this year.
Okay.
Again, we're just trying to get past our rainy season, and it, in order to put on an event, and we have some amazing people. Last year we had Sharon Rose and her husband, which are on here. They were God sent, and we had a wonderful barbecue, and Amy Armstrong was there, and she sang, and it was a fantastic time. But it takes a lot of work to do something like that. A lot of planning, and all of us are just busy.
Yes,
So
we are.
and it's not to say that it's not going to happen. It will. Just we don't have anything in the gamut at the moment.
Well, I hope that you will.
All right.
I hope that
so
you will.
too.
Folks, you've heard it from Monica, the PuRR Project. We will be definitely finding ways to connect with you and waiting to hear more news about what you're doing. And now we are going to have a very awkward change of guests. And I say awkward because I have to reach out and remove your microphone. And I'm going to do this.
Okay.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Are you ready?
I am.
Are you sure?
Thank you all for being here. Thank you for supporting PuRR Project. Please come and ask us any questions. We'll be at the market on Saturday for the very first one.
I love it.
Season.
I love it. Okay, so now your microphone comes back to me. I'm going to
Okay.
steal it from you.
All right.
And we are going to magically go from kitty cats to butterflies. You may or may not know this, but our city has a butterfly sanctuary, and I am making room for our next guest who brings things to share. And give me 1 second. First of all, I want to change this banner for Fabienne's banner. I know, I should have prepared a video to do this, but I didn't. And may I approach the butterfly? A ver, espérame. Momentito. Okay, so this is casual, the way we're doing things. Everybody, here we are, and I have Fabienne Reyes from the Butterfly Sanctuary. How are you?
Hi, Paco. Nice meeting you. It's a pleasure to be over here today.
It is a pleasure to meet you because there's a lot of story.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history. You had a restaurant, then the restaurant was no longer, and now you are running the Butterfly Sanctuary. How did this come about?
Oh my God. First of all, I'm already in Vallarta for almost 8 years.
Where were you from?
Peru. I'm originally from Peru.
You're Peruvian?
Yeah.
Ay, qué bonito. How did you find Puerto Vallarta?
We started coming over here for almost 10 years. And then we made a decision to move to Mexico. Because
Uh-huh.
we share the same culture. So
Uh-huh.
we fell in love with the people, the community, the food, and we just decided to make the next step. Yeah.
Excellent. And you came directly to Puerto Vallarta?
We were in different places, Oaxaca, Acapulco,
Uh-huh.
but Vallarta felt like home.
And what was it about Vallarta that seduced you?
It was just having the ocean and the mountains,
Mhm.
like a perfect combo.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Monica, what are you doing? What are you doing back there? Oh my God, you're blushing like a schoolgirl. Okay, I love it. We have paparazzi. Wait till you see the video. It'll be a stitch. Anyhow, you open a restaurant, and then you close the
We
restaurant.
closed the restaurant in 2019
Uh-huh.
because then we found a property where we started the butterfly garden.
How do you wake up one day and you say to yourself or your spouse or your associates or your family, I want to start a butterfly garden?
Well, coming to Vallarta, I mean, having the restaurant for 3 years, the guys that were working for us, they were having their kids at school. And these kids, I haven't seen them going to different museums or different activities. So, yeah, they don't do much over here. As Barbara was saying, that we have not many places where also kids can go over there and focus on education. So we decided to open a butterfly garden where we focus on educational programs, conservation programs for native butterflies.
Native butterfly. How
Yeah.
many native species do we have?
So far we have identified 190 species of local butterflies.
Really?
Yeah, just on our spot where we are.
Which is
And
where?
Just we are 10 minutes away from the airport, like going inland by the golf course. So 10
Fantastic.
minutes away. So, and we have license to breed 37 species of butterflies. Since we work with wildlife, we need to have a federal license. So I brought you over here some like our chrysalids, like
Oh
you'll be
my
able to
God.
see them.
Can I?
Yeah, these ones are live.
Oh my
chrysalids,
God.
So you can hold it like very gentle.
Wait, I don't know that I can even do this. We've never done this before, friends. So let me bring this as close as I can to the lens and hope. No,
Yeah,
it's
you
not.
Can put your hand like so you can get more focus. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be complicated
Yeah.
because this is not one of those fancy cameras. But this is, and it's shiny.
Yeah. So every morning with the guys, we need to come for and collect eggs, caterpillars, and then we take it to our nursery. And our nursery, the biologists, they take care of feeding all our caterpillars. So even I have some caterpillars over here, like.
Oh my God. Okay, so you're never going to find this, but I see a caterpillar down there. Can I hold
You
this?
can hold it, yeah.
Okay, ay mama, I don't want to. Can you? No, you can definitely not see that. Okay, note to self: find a way to display This, can you see it? No. Okay, you're gonna have to trust me on this one. But there's a little caterpillar there.
Yeah. So every morning we have to collect
Wow.
all of these little ones. You can hold it.
Ah,
So
yes.
we can hold we collect there because there is even a tiny caterpillar over here just on the tip.
Wow.
Yeah. Because in nature they have lots of predators,
Uh-huh.
ants, millipedes, centipedes, spiders, lizards, praying mantis, mice, and there are even flies and wasps that they don't eat them but they parasite them. So that's why we need to collect them to take it to our nursery. And 2 weeks later we have these beautiful chrysalids, and a week from now we have our butterflies.
How?
Yeah.
Wow. How did you, Fabian,
Yeah.
how did you become so involved and knowledgeable and passionate about butterflies? Did you go to butterfly school?
Yeah, well, actually, I love butterflies since I'm 5 years old.
Uh-huh.
I used to have my grandma. She used to have a plant right in front of her business, and there used to have tiny caterpillars. And with the little that she knew, she was teaching me about the caterpillars and all the stages, and it was amazing. And that's what we transmit to all the little ones when they visit us. So just to see their faces, that they are so excited, so happy. Yeah, that's the best payment that we could have.
Okay, so for those of us, and I include myself,
Yeah.
I haven't been, but I've heard that it's wonderful. And I'm keeping my eye on I really wish we had a good camera to show you. Okay, I will upgrade. Once the spotlight becomes monetized, we'll have a special camera for Caterpillar guests. But before that, you just need to trust me. This is so exciting. Tell me the sanctuary experience. Like I tell my family, hey, let's go to the butterfly sanctuary today. And we find it on the map and we get there and we park our car.
Yeah.
What happens next? What is there for me to do?
Yeah, once our customers, visitors come to the garden, we explain them if they have ever visited a butterfly garden before. because there are butterflies gardens all over the world, but most of them they only do exhibition, which they get their chrysalis from different butterfly farming and they release them.
Mhm.
So over here we do reproduction and exhibition, and we have to study native plants. So in that way we know in which plants our local butterflies are laying their eggs.
Uh-huh.
So it's more complete, so that we need to study about different pests, different soil, different parasiters, and then we give a little explanation, like with caterpillars or even different cocoons that we have over here. Yeah, like this one over here. So butterflies they do a chrysalis or pupas, and moth they do a cocoon, which are these ones here.
There's something alive in here?
No, actually that one unfortunately was parasite, because you can see there is a hole over, a tiny little hole over here.
Somebody
So,
walked in there
Yeah.
and ate
ate-
the
ate-
butterfly.
ate the butterfly.
Que cabrones.
So that's why we need to collect them, and in that way we avoid other different animals eat them or parasite them. So
But they're all different.
all different kinds.
Can I hold this
Yeah, you
one?
can hold that one. That one is called bagworm caterpillar. Only that family has about 1,500 species all over the world, and they could be different sizes, different shapes. We call them cargapalitos. As you see, they call sticks.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we give them a little introduction.
Okay, so yeah, let's go back to that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I get scattered because this is fascinating and very new to me. I've parked the car, I've gotten there. You ask people if they've
Yeah.
ever been to a garden before.
Yeah.
You give them
A little
knowledge.
introduction,
Mhm.
and then we go inside.
Inside of where?
Of the garden. We have
Okay.
like a nursery with which is 1,000 meters square, where we have native plants and different flowers. So our butterflies they fly all over, and
Mhm.
then they can see how butterflies interact in nature, how they lay their eggs, how they mate, how they flirt, how they fight. Because even over here we have 3 species of local butterflies that they make a sound. We call them cracker butterflies.
No way.
Yeah, there are only 19 species all over the world, and over here we have 3. which
That
is-
make a sound.
Yeah, they make like a little cracking sound because they are territorial. So it's
See,
actually
my
fascinating.
cat doesn't let me get out of the house. My cat, Luna, has decided, Paco, no butterflies in your life. But this is like widening my horizon.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm gonna be a PuRR and butterfly project kind of person. So, okay, so how large is the sanctuary? You're talking about a big property, a
Yeah.
small property. Are there restrooms? Are there screenings? Is there a restaurant? Can I
Yeah.
get a michelada? I mean, what?
Yeah, actually the garden itself is about 1,000 meters square. Well, we're the tour. Outside we just started an expansion, which are doing a garden pollinator, which is open for everyone. We just starting again after the rainy season. We need to clean all our plants. And we will have 2,500 meters square, which is gonna be for a garden just for butterflies. We're planting fruit trees like bananas, guavas, different flowers to attract butterflies. And then on the side, we have a small pond where we also have different species of birds. We have identified 65 species of birds through the whole year. And we got actually a telescope where we use it for our school programs, so where kids can see closer the birds. Yeah.
So you're working with schools as well?
Yeah, so we sponsor public schools so they can come to our garden. And also we have like different visitors from public schools, which also we have a small fee, which is 100 pesos per student. And for
Mhm.
the public school, we try to help them with transportation, and we cover the admission ticket for them.
Not to create competition.
No.
What can I do if I have a garden
Mhm.
to attract butterflies to my
That
garden?
would be lovely. Yeah, that's what we need to do to attract pollinators. Pollinators are responsible to pollinate about 80% of all our crops. We are talking about moth, butterflies, bees, wild wasps, fly, mosquitoes, hummingbirds, bats. Yeah, all of them, they are pollinators. And we need them all. If we don't have them, so we're not gonna have food.
Okay, so this
Yeah.
is the section of the spotlight that I'm shamelessly and selfishly allowing to happen because of my dear friends Claudio and Lucas that live in the mountains and they have a beautiful garden and they love butterflies. So what can Claudio and Lucas do in their garden
to
attract more butterflies?
Yeah, so even like if they are in nature, I mean, we will see even small flowers like they grow like wheat. We need to keep those, and also we can reinforce and bring different ornamental plants that they have lots of flowers. So also to complement, but as well we can have like rotten fruit. Butterflies they don't need pollen and nectar. They go with rotten fruit, dead animals, poop from animals, even our mineral from our body when we sweat, mineral from the ground, or sometimes when we go to the beach, we see butterflies absorbing mineral from the sun. So, but having even rotten fruit is even good for butterflies, and also you can attract different pollinators like wild wasps, wild bees. Yeah.
Are there bad butterflies?
No, all the butterflies are not bad or good ones, but for example, we have toxic caterpillars that actually they eat toxic plants, so in that way they are able to protect from their predators. Even when they become butterflies or moth, some of them remain that toxicity, so they are able to protect from their predators, like by color. Colors in nature means toxicity. So actually, like a month and a half ago, we have a caterpillar that I didn't bring it today, but it's called Oruga peluche. It's just like a wick. So, and this caterpillar, when it
they sting, don't they?
Sting. So when they become a moth, all their wing was covered with hair. We were in the laboratory, and the butterfly was vibrating their wing, so that released a little bit of the dust. I mean, of the hair of their wing.
And that makes you blind.
Not blind.
That's what they told me in school.
Well, actually, I was breathing, and 5 minutes later, I was having some weird thing on my nose, some kind of allergy on my nose. 10 minutes after that, I was having a little bit of difficulty for breathing. So it wasn't bad, but that's how this moth in nature, when a predator is close to the moth, they vibrate their wing, release a little hair, so the bird will have difficulty for breathing, and it's not gonna eat the tiny moth. So that's why they keep some of them their toxicity to protect in the future.
There are questions.
Yeah.
Rodrigo is asking in Spanish. I don't know. Well, Rodrigo's asking in Spanish. Maybe we have a little Spanish answer and I'll translate. Rodrigo quiere saber qué es lo más difícil de trabajar con insectos.
Well,
in Spanish.
Okay.
And I translate English.
Lo más difícil trabajar con insectos sería que son muy, pero muy delicados.
The most difficult and challenging thing is that they're very delicate.
Yeah. A veces tenemos que recoger oruguitas que miden menos de 1 milímetro y tenemos que saber cómo alimentarlas.
Sometimes we have to collect and handle small caterpillars that are not even a millimeter in length, and we need to know how to feed them.
Yeah, porque algunas ocasiones cuando no tienen suficiente alimento se comen unas a otras.
Because if they don't have enough food, they start eating one another. Oh my God. Rodrigo, I hope that answers your question. Did I not turn your... No, your turn... Paula says can't hear him. Can you guys hear Fabian? Because Paula says that I think your microphone level is good. Say something on your microphone. Say something.
Me? No? What?
Yes. No, you're I don't know what it is that you cannot hear, Paula, but Sherry says I hear. Albert says okay, so we're good with sound. Puerto Vallarta is so lucky to have such a dedicated person to provide such a wonderful educational experience for our city. You have fans out there. What does your project need the most right now?
What we need the most, I would say.
And I know we're going to talk about a special event, but we'll save that for last.
Yeah. What we need, I would say. Well, we're working right now in our entomological collection because we're pretty soon about to open our first outdoor museum for the garden for this season. So we are going to complement our education, because during the season we do receive many visitors, but we have also limited time when they get inside. So expanding the garden will also give us opportunity to connect with more schools, so that we can introduce them and also be able to take these kind of boxes that I have right here.
Yes, yes,
Show
yes.
you. So these entomological boxes that we made,
Mm-hmm.
these ones are done with actually dead butterflies when they die naturally at our garden. Our butterflies, they can live for about from 1 month up to 6 months. So they have a longer lifespan because we have their native plants inside. So that's why you can see some of them, their wings are a little broken, or they don't have abdomen, or a head, or antennas, because they have complete their cycle. They have mate, they have laid their eggs, they have reproduced,
And they start.
and then they die. So that's why then after they die, we can collect them and we pin it over here so we can study newer species, or also we can show it to the kids how important or how to recognize butterflies, males and females, and they love it. So this is the best way for them to approach to nature. Yeah.
Rodrigo has another question in Spanish. ¿Hay otras maneras de erradicar mosquitos sin utilizar pesticidas? Are there other ways to eradicate mosquitoes without pesticides? En español.
Sí, en Edmonton tienen un programa aerial para no usar pesticidas, que usan, se llama Dragonfly, ¿cómo se dice Dragonfly?
In Edmonton, in Canada?
In Canada.
Okay. There is a program in Edmonton, Canada, where they have a way to get rid of mosquitoes.
Sí.
¿Qué más?
Usan, ¿cómo se llama de aquí? Dragonfly.
Dragonfly?
Libélulas. Yeah, they release dragonflies in nature.
Wait. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, they release dragonflies in. Oh, you just said that in
Yeah.
English. Libélulas. Eso es lo que lo hace Rodrigo. Thanks for your question. I want to go back to the experience at the sanctuary because I get dizzy and scattered and I have so many questions. How much time should I plan?
An hour 15. So an hour and a half at the most. Just
Why?
for the visit.
You cannot just stay and hang out and chill, or?
Yeah, you can, but actually most of the visitors that come, they use it like for a half a day adventure, because we are half an hour away from downtown.
Okay.
So they arrive, let's say, 10 o'clock in the morning for the first tour. They are done 10 to 15, because at the end of the tour, they have the chance to release a newly born butterfly.
You can get there by Uber, you can get there by car.
By
Is there
car.
public transportation?
Public transportation, we have 3 different buses that actually come from downtown. Number 12, Portales, 36, Banus, 24, Mojoneras. Early morning, you have plenty of buses. Around 10, 11, only one bus runs every hour. But starting November 9, we're gonna be at 3 hens and 1 rooster, which we're gonna be also promoting transportation and guided tours, taking from the River Quale to the garden and come back.
I want to put something on the screen that got me so excited because one of the things in my bucket list is to go and visit the Mariposa Monarca.
Yeah.
I always talk about it whenever it's the season. I always tell people, try to get out of Puerto Vallarta and discover the rest of Mexico. So when you told me, and we announced this in the broadcast, that there was a countrywide festival for the monarch butterfly and that your organization is participating, I got all excited. Please tell us about that.
So we are about 12 states in Mexico that we are participating, and there are almost 70 institutions that we are participating. And during this festival, we are actually doing different conference, seminars, art work. We're doing different tour guides. So to try to connect the community and be aware of the monarch butterfly. Because actually, like I was on May on Michoacan, and the situation in Michoacan is not very positive. The thing what's happening there is also pesticides, and the other thing is also like deforestation, taking their land, like for switching land. Now they are growing more avocados and taking the land for the monarch. This year, it was the lowest population of monarchs in 30 years.
Wow.
It was less than an hectare. So it's kind of like the situation is not positive, and well, we share. I mean, the monarch they come from Canada, United States, all the way to Michoacán to hibernate. So all people can be doing a wonderful job, continue planting milkweed in the States, in Canada, but when they come here, we have this reality, and it's affecting the monarchs. So that's why we need to start going through education for the little ones. They need to know how important it is to protect a little caterpillar, so when they grow up, they understand how important they are for the ecosystem. Yeah, because they travel in millions of monarchs.
Wow.
So that's why we need to continue our education. All these institutions, we are working, and we are doing a lot of like community programs to educate the people.
So when is the actual
Event?
event?
Yeah, our event will be hosting on the November 23rd. It's gonna be starting 9 o'clock in the morning.
At the
over here at the Butterfly Garden.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna be having actually our main biologist. She's from Mexico City. She's a doctor, and she has so many studies, and she will be having like a exposition there. So I'm gonna post it as well on Facebook.
Please do.
So yeah, we're working on that, and we're gonna have different classes for the little ones. We're gonna have guided tours, and it's gonna be beautiful.
Wow. What are we missing? What have I not asked you that you think is really important for people to know? We've been showing, folks, if you want to connect with Fabian, we've been showing the Facebook page for the Jardín Mágico. What else is important for you to communicate?
Yeah, I mean, for everyone that visits Puerto Vallarta or any other place, just to give themselves a chance to connect with nature, just to learn something from the places they are visiting. So over here also we have the turtle releasing, we have whales, we have parrots, we have all these projects that we work with different associations, like to also support them, because in Mexico there is not so much help, and we support each other. We have the crocodiles, and yeah, we need to work together to be able to continue with our projects. So everyone that come and visit Vallarta or any other places, to give themselves an opportunity to connect with nature and learn something about our ecosystem.
What can we do to get butterflies and cats to get along? Because sitting right behind you is the director of the PuRR project, and so we all have to get along. And I'm saying that facetiously, but I suppose in my naive wishful thinking, there are so many important organizations in this town, and there are so many devoted to nature. I wish moving forward that you organizations that are committed to nature will find strategies and ways to join forces, because it couldn't hurt, right? Wouldn't that be nice? I mean, you all have needs. I mean, I'm sure the PuRR project has funding needs. I'm sure you have funding needs as well. But how fun it would be if there was more joint awareness of all these wonderful opportunities. I had no idea. Well, I knew of the butterfly sanctuary, but was not really aware of all the stuff that you're doing and all the knowledge involved. And I'm grateful to know that you are bilingual, so you can welcome Spanish-speaking guests and English-speaking guests as well. Anything else?
Well,
I'm going to ask a million times because I always want you guys to go happy.
Yeah, I just want to thank to all our people that have been continuing with their support from all these years. So it's been tough, I mean, for everyone after COVID and then the hurricane last year. So I'm very grateful for all the people that support our project, and I'm very happy. So
Excellent.
I have good friends that they come year after year, and they just get amazed. They amazed for all the things that we're doing. So I'm very happy for that.
Well, don't hesitate to come back if there's anything newsworthy, or even if you just want to stop by and have a muffin and say hello. The same thing goes to the PuRR project. And don't hesitate to nudge me. Just send me a quick chat message on Facebook and say, hey, did you see this video that we posted? Or did you see these photos? Or would you have an opportunity to talk about these things? Because ultimately, when we all join forces to create a more vibrant city, then we're opening the door to more vibrant and wonderful people to come and see what we're doing. And I solemnly promise that I will come and visit the sanctuary sometime soon. Folks, I think this is it. Thank you.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Thank you
for the
so much.
opportunity.
It is a pleasure to meet you in person. And I just love all these things that you brought. I just wish, okay, I will work on the logistics of developing an oruga cam so we can look at these things more closely. This is fascinating. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Fabian, for bringing all this knowledge to us. And thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, we will be uploading this to YouTube, and we will be promoting it as of tomorrow so that more and more people can learn about both the PuRR project and also the Butterfly Sanctuary. I think this is it. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone. I will be back tomorrow morning at the Spotlight as usual. We will be back, at Coffee and Headlines as usual. We will be back next week here. If you have anything important that you wish to promote, you know where to find us. In the meantime, go have an amazing Wednesday afternoon. Take care.